Hello, readers. This is the story that you will be reading for the first time, written by your author. So, let's start. Arav and Ananya are final year MBBS students at one of the India's most prestigious medical colleges in Delhi. From the very beginning, Arav stands out not only because of his intelligence and confidence, but also because of his family background. He is son of Dr. Raj Malhotra and Dr. Meera Malhotra, two of the most respected doctors in the country. Together, they own one of the Delhi's largest multi-specialty hospital, a place where countless young doctors dream of working. For Ananya, they are more than famous doctors, they are her idol. She dreams of becoming a doctor like them one day and earning a place in their hospital through her own hard work. When she discovers that her classmate Arav is their son, admiration slowly turns into friendship, and friendship eventually turns into love. For 4 years later, they are still together, living in a small apartment near their college campus. Their lives revolve around lectures, hospital postings, coffee, exams, and endless medical textbooks. Both are among the brightest students in their batch, constantly challenging each other to improve. Their relationship is built on friendship, trust, and a strong physical connection. Has always been a natural part of their relationship. Between sleepless nights, exam stress, and the pressure of medical school, they often find comfort in each other. Now, graduation is only a few months away. Arav is preparing to leave for the United States for his master's degree, while Ananya is determined to stay in India and earn her success through her own hard work. As the entrance exam approach and their futures begin pulling them in a different directions, they face their biggest challenge yet, the possibility of living apart for the first time in 4 years. It is nearly 5 in the morning when Arav finally falls asleep. The apartment is silent except for the faint hum of the air conditioner and the occasional rustle pages left open across the room. Now Arav sleeps peacefully beside her, one arm draped loosely across her waist, completely unaware of the chaos raging inside her mind. Ananya, however, can't sleep, not even a little. She sits up slowly, pulling the blanket around herself as she rolls her knees to her chest. The first rays of the dawn slip through the curtains, bathing the room in a soft golden glow. Her eyes drift toward Arav. God, he's handsome, even asleep. His dark hair falls messily across his forehead. His jawline looks annoyingly perfect. Years of discipline have snapped him into someone who seems unfairly good at everything: academics, fitness, confidence. Sometimes she genuinely hates him for it, mostly because she's obsessed with him. The boy she met in the first year has somehow become the center of her entire world. And despite carrying the weight of being born into one of the most respected medical families in India, he never made her feel small. He always treated her like an equal, like a partner, like someone who belonged beside him. A painful smile touches her lips because that is exactly why she's terrified. Her hand unconsciously moves to her stomach. What if she's pregnant? The thought has been haunting her for days. They had always been careful, always. But life had become hectic recently: entrance exams, clinical postings, graduation requirements, a thousand responsibilities demanding attention every single day. Somewhere in that chaos, she had forgotten something important, and now she's late, very late. A lump forms in her throat. It is not that she doesn't want a future with Arav, she does more than anything. But not now, not when their careers are just beginning, not when he's preparing to leave for America. Not when she still has so much left to prove. Her chest tightens, fear, guilt, uncertainty. Everything crashes into her at once. Beside her, Arav shifts slightly in his sleep before instinctively reaching for her. Even unconsciousness, he searches for her. The gestures nearly break her heart. She watches him for a long moment. Maybe she should wake him up. Maybe she should tell him everything. But the word refused to come. Not yet, not until she's sure. So instead, she sits there in the growing morning light, listening to his steady breathing, waiting for answers, waiting for courage, waiting to find out whether the future she has carefully planned is about to change forever. As Ananya sat there, weighed down by her thoughts, sleep felt impossible. No matter how hard she tries, the anxiety refused to loosen its grip. With entrance exams around the corner and a future hanging in uncertainty, she couldn't afford to waste another hour staring at the ceiling. Quietly, she slipped out of the bed. Arav hoodie lay at the edge of the mattress where he had tossed it earlier. She picked it up and pulled it over her head, instantly comforted by its familiar warmth and scent. The oversized fabric swallowed her frame, making her feel as if part of him was still wrapped around her. Grabbing her pathology notes and textbook, she prepared for another study session. Before leaving, she bent down beside him, her lips brushing his ear. Arav, I am going to study pathology. You want to join? Even half asleep, he gave a small nod. But first, he mumbled, eyes still closed, please make coffee. Despite everything weighing on her mind, a smile appeared on Ananya's face. She pressed a soft kiss to his temple before walking toward the kitchen. Soon, the rich aroma of the coffee began filling the room. For now, Ananya forced herself to focus on her books, hoping the pages in front of her would distract her from the worry lingering in the back of her mind. A little while later, Arav finally woke up. The smell of the fresh coffee guided him straight to the kitchen. Still sleepy, he rubbed his eyes and wrapped a towel around his waist before walking down the hallway. The moment he entered the kitchen, however, he was completely stolen. Ananya stood by the counter pouring coffee into two mugs. His hoodie hung loosely on a frame, almost reaching her thighs. For a moment, he simply stood there and watched. Then, without a word, he walked over and wrapped his arms around her waist from behind. Morning, Arav murmured, his voice rough with sleep. Morning, Ananya replied softly. You look so good in my hoodie. A faint warmth spread across her cheeks. Arav, the coffee. Forget the coffee. Ananya laughed quietly and shook her head. We have to study. We will. His voice was low and reassuring. But right now, I just want a minute with you. But for a brief moment, the stress of exams, applications, and uncertain future seemed to be disappear. Standing there in the quiet kitchen, surrounded by textbook and coffee mugs, it felt as if the rest of the world no longer existed. We don't have much time, Ananya murmured. Arav smiled. Then let's not waste any of it. For a few precious moments, neither of them thought about master programs, career plans, or future waiting outside those apartment walls. It is just the two of them, and somehow that feels enough. Arav gaze lingered on her for a moment too long. The oversized hoodie slipping off one shoulder, the forgotten coffee on the counter, the early morning sunlight feeling across her face. Something about the sight of her made his expression soften. Why are you looking at me like that? Ananya asked quietly. A low smile tugged at his lips. Like what? Like you have completely forgotten about pathology? I have. She rolled her eyes, but her heart betrayed her by skipping a beat. Arav took one step forward, then another, until barely any space remained between them. You know, he said softly, you are supposed to be studying. So are you. That's true. Neither of them moved away. His eyes briefly dropped to her lips before meeting her gaze again. You are impossible. Ananya muttered. Arav chuckled. And yet you have tolerated me for years. Tolerated? Fine, loved. That earned him a smile. His hand settled around her waist because you are cute when you are trying to be responsible. Before she could answer, he leaned forward and pressed a kiss against her forehead, then the corner of her mouth, patient, teasing, as if he knew exactly what he was doing. Arav, what? Stop! You don't sound very convincing. Her laugh escaped before she could stop it. When he finally pulled back, he rested his forehead against her. Feel better? He asked quietly. Ananya nodded. A little. A little? She smiled. Fine, a lot. There she is. He stole one last quick kiss before reaching for his coffee. Now open your pathology notes before I forget I'm supposed to be a future doctor. Ananya grinned. Too late. I think you're already distracted. Ara pointed toward the textbook. Study, doctor. Yes, doctor. And for the first time that morning, the note of the anxiety inside Ananya's chest felt a little lighter. 3 hours, 3 whole hours, that's how long Ananya had been staring at pathology books while Arav somehow remained completely focused. The dining table looked like a battlefield, open textbook, scattered notes, flashcards, coffee mugs, highlighters, and two exhausted medical students trying to survive exam season. Well, one exhausted medical student, because Arav looked annoyingly fine. Ananya rested her chin on her hand and stared at him again. Arav was reading something intensely, occasionally making notes in the margins of his textbook. Not once had he looked distracted, not once had he complained, not once had he checked his phone. It was honestly irritating. Stop staring. Ananya blinked. What? Arav didn't even look up. You are staring. I am not. You are. I am studying. Arav finally raised his eyes. Then tell me what I explained 5 minutes ago. Ananya opened her mouth. Nothing came out. Arav sighed dramatically. Exactly. She pointed at him. That's not fair. What's not fair? The fact that you are smart. His eyebrow lifted. That's your complaint? Yes. Arav laughed a genuine laugh, the kind she loved hearing. I spent 3 hours explaining pathology and I spent 3 hours appreciating how handsome my boyfriend is. Ananya, what? We have exams. She groaned loudly before letting her head fall on the table. I hate exams. I know. I hate pathology. I know. I hate studying. I definitely know. Ananya looked up. But I like you. Ara pinched the bridge of his nose. Please don't start. That immediately made her grin. Oh, now I definitely have to start. She scooted her chair slightly closer. Ara noticed. Stay on your side of the table. No. Ananya, no. You are 24. And you act 12. She gasped dramatically. Wow. Arav returned to his book. I can't believe you would say that. Ananya narrowed her eyes and suddenly her expression softened. I will miss you. This time, Ara looked up immediately. The teasing disappeared from his face. The room grew quieter. Neither of them joked anymore. Hey, his voice softened. Don't. Ananya looked down at her notes. Masters is going to be hard. It will. I won't see you every day. Arav remained silent because that part scared him too, more than he wanted to admit. For 4 hours, Ananya had been part of everything. Every exam, every victory, every breakdown, every sleepless night. The thought of waking up without her felt wrong. Completely wrong. Arav reached across the table and took her hand. His fingers intervened with hers automatically, like a second nature. We will figure it out. Ananya smiled sadly. You always say that. Because we always do. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The early morning sunlight spilled across the table. The coffee had gone cold. The textbooks had forgotten. Then suddenly, Ananya spoke again. Don't get a prettier girlfriend in America. Arav stared at her. What? You heard me. I've been having an emotional moment, and that's what you say? It's important. A laugh escaped him. Ananya, I am serious. No, you are jealous. I am serious and jealous. Arav shook his head. Unbelievable. Completely unbelievable. What if someone asks me for help? No. What if they need notes? No. What if. No. Arav couldn't stop smiling anymore. What if they are failing? They can fail. That's harsh. They will survive. Arav laughed so hard he had to remove his glasses. Ananya pointed at him immediately. See, you are laughing. This isn't funny. It absolutely is. She crossed her arms. You are only allowed to teach me. Only you? Only me. Exclusive contract? Exactly. Arav shook his head. You sound insane. And yet you're obsessed with me? His smile widened. Unfortunately. Unfortunately. Very unfortunately. Ananya grabbed a highlighter and threw at him. Arav caught it effortlessly. Both of them burst out laughing. The sadness from earlier slow disappeared. The fear, the uncertainty, the thought of being apart. For a little while, none of it mattered. It was just them, the same two people who had survived 4 years of medical school together. Arav squeezed her hand one last time before pushing her pathology book toward her. Now study. Ananya groaned. No. Study. No. Ananya. She sighed dramatically. Fine. Arav smiled. Good girl. And just like that, another 20 minutes of studying were lost. Thanks for watching. I will upload the next episode soon.